Stocks on sale, time to buy. So, the stocks that I'm going to talk about today that I personally think are on sale, as always, do your own research. So, this is not financial advice. But the stocks that are on sale right now is Nvidia, Merck, Visa, AMD, Chevron, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Tesla. And so, personally, I personally think these stocks are on sale, right? So looking at first at Nvidia, right? They reported earnings and they actually beat earnings. Taking a look at their earnings, they beat earnings per share and they beat their revenue. And they reported today, August 28th. Nvidia reported earnings. They did good, but after hours they're down, right? They're down at 116, right? So, taking that into consideration, I feel like if Nvidia does decide to, go down a little lower, my next entry point for getting into Nvidia is around the the 111 or 105 level, sort of. And I feel like Nvidia is a personal long-term buy, with the whole AI craze, right? And then you have Merck. Personally, I think Merck is way oversold. If you look at Merck, right, it was kind of trading in this range around the 123 range, sort of. And then you can see it finally broke that range on earnings, 7/30/2024. And then right now you can see that Merck finally on August 9th broke above the 9-day moving average. And then on August 22, it broke above the 20-day moving average. So I personally feel like anywhere where Merck is at right now is a personal good entry point to get in. Now looking at Visa, right? Visa, I personally think it's a good entry point where Visa is at right now. Visa right now is literally on the 200-day moving average. And I feel like, and then if you look back, right, you can see that Visa was back then trading in this range of 267, 268. And so I personally feel like Visa right now could possibly bounce off the 200-day moving average, and we could possibly see Visa go back to the 270 level range. And so the next stock is AMD, right? AMD, after hours, they're down 140, right? So I feel like anywhere around the 130 range or the 140 range is a personal good entry point to get into AMD. If you look back, right, ever since, since April, it was kind of like using the 180 and 200-day moving average as support until finally in 7/18/2024, AMD broke the 180-day moving average. Yeah, the 180-day moving average, and then it's just been in a downtrend ever since. And then finally, you can see that on August 12th, 2024. AMD broke above the 9-day moving average, and then on I guess you could say August 14th, 2024, AMD broke above the 20-day moving average. But I personally feel like if AMD is down after hours at 140, I personally feel like anywhere around the 140 or 130 range level is I personally feel like is a good entry point to get into AMD. And then looking at Chevron, right? So Chevron was, if you look back then, was using the 180 and 200-day moving average as support in a way. You can see around this area, it used the 200-day moving average as support. Then you can see around this area, it used the 200-day moving average as support. Until finally on earnings, Chevron broke through the 180 and 200-day moving average. And then you can see on August 15th, 2024, it broke above the 9-day moving average. And then on August 23, 2024, it broke above the 20-day moving average. But then you can see on August 26, 2024, Chevron got rejected by the 180-day moving average. And then you can see the next candle, August 27th, 2024, Chevron once again tried breaking the 200-day moving average, and it failed, right? And then you can see from today's candle, right, it tried breaking the 9-day moving average, but it clearly failed. So I feel like anywhere right now in the 140 range, I feel like anywhere where Chevron right now is in the 140 range. So I personally feel like anywhere in the 140 range is a personal good entry point to get into Chevron. The next stock is Amazon. Amazon right now, you could see back then, well, not really, but ever since, I guess you could say since August 1st, basically Amazon's just been in a downtrend basically since earnings, right? Amazon tried breaking the 20-day moving average, and it got rejected super badly. And then until finally Amazon broke above the 9-day moving average on August 13th, 2024. And then you can see that on August 15th, Amazon broke above the 20-day moving average, and it wanted to go up higher, but I guess not really, right? And then you can see ever since August 26, 2024, Amazon has just been in a downtrend. Since August 26, 2024, Amazon tried breaking above the 9-day moving average, but it failed. So I feel like anywhere where Amazon is at right now, around the 170 or 160 range level, I personally think that's a good entry point to get into Amazon. And the next stock is Google. Google has just been in a downtrend ever since, I guess you could say since July 15th. Yeah, since July 15th. Google has been trying to break the 9-day moving average. July 15th, it got rejected. On the July 16th, it got rejected. And then July 22, July 23, July 31st, it got rejected. August 1st, got rejected by the 9-day moving average. And then what was it? August 12th, it's just been rejected by the 9-day moving average. And then I actually thought Amazon finally it broke above the 9-day moving average on August 13th, but ultimately that didn't go to plan, right? Until finally on August 16th, Google finally broke above the 9-day moving average. And then on August 20, it broke above the 20-day moving average. But ever since then, it was just in this constant range around the 163, 164 range. And right now, I personally feel like maybe if Google did get rejected by the 9 and 20-day moving average, then my next personal support level to look out for getting into Google would be around to see if Google can bounce off the 180-day moving average, or if it can bounce off the 200-day moving average. And then the next stock that I personally feel like is on sale, right, is Microsoft. Microsoft, it looks like it's doing all right. It looks like it tried breaking the 180 and the 20-day moving average, but it clearly failed, right? And so that was a fail. And it looks like it bounced off the 200-day moving average. So I personally feel like anywhere where Microsoft is right now, whether it be in the 408 or 407 range, I feel like that's a personal good support level for, for buying or getting into Microsoft, right? Now, if Microsoft does decide to break the 200-day moving average, then we could see a little bit more downtrend of Microsoft. And looking at it on the weekly chart, if Microsoft does decide to do worse later on, right? The next entry point that I'm looking to get into Microsoft is around the 396 level. In other words, I'm basically looking for Microsoft to approach the 50-day moving average. All right, so the next stock is Tesla, right? Tesla is down 202 after hours, right? And you can see that today it tried bouncing off the. No, it looks like it did well. It bounced off the 200-day moving average. It tried breaking the 20-day moving average, but it didn't work out, right? And so I feel like I feel like if Tesla can maintain itself above the 200 or 180-day moving average, I personally feel like that's a good entry point to get into Tesla. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the, I guess, how many stocks is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the 9 stocks that I personally feel like are on sale for now, right? I'll definitely update you guys to see what happens with these stocks, right? And with the past stocks that were on sale, right? Which was Merck, Visa, Chevron, Microsoft, Salesforce, and AMD, right? Merck is doing good, right? Somewhat. It's above the 9 and 20-day moving average, right? No, ignore American Airlines. Visa's doing well. It's possibly, maybe Visa could bounce off the 200-day moving average, and if it breaks the 180-day moving average, then we could possibly see more Visa uptrend, right? And then Chevron is just, I guess you could say, is a little stable. It's been in an uptrend ever since it broke above the 9 and 20-day moving average. But you can see that it got rejected by the 200-day moving average. So could this be trouble for Chevron? Possibly, but if it can, bounce off the 20-day moving average, then possibly we could see a little bit more Chevron uptrend. And then Microsoft, I talked about Microsoft, right? Basically, if Microsoft can bounce off the 200-day moving average, then I personally think that we could see a little bit more of Microsoft continuation to the uptrend, right? And then I talked about Salesforce in the past. After hours, they're up 269, and I feel like if just in case, right? Just in case, Salesforce approaches the 180-day moving average, right? And it gets rejected by the 180-day moving average. My next entry point to get into Salesforce would be around the 200-day moving average. And then AMD was doing all right, but then you can clearly see it got rejected by the 180-day moving average. They tried breaking the 200-day moving average, it got rejected, and ever since then it's just been in a downtrend. And so if AMD can bounce off the 20-day moving average or bounce off anywhere around the 130 range, right? Then possibly we could see a little bit more continuation of AMD towards the uptrend. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those, those stocks that I talked about previously, right, are doing somewhat well, but not really, right? And then the stocks that I'm talking about right now are Nvidia, Merck, Visa, AMD, Chevron, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Tesla, right? And so I'll keep you guys updated to see what happens. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, take care and bye.